All right, guys, welcome back. So there's going to be two things I'm going to show you today. One, of course, is going to be this RC10 40th edition. I'm probably going to pull the trigger on this. It's kind of expensive for a kit, but I've always wanted one. So I may go ahead and do this. And then Kyosho also has a Rage 2.0 that they have announced as well. So there's going to be links in the description to both of these vehicles if you're interested in it. Now, the Kyosho Rage does have a couple of updates and stuff to it. And of course, they got YouTube promotion videos showing the vehicle running. And it is going to run you at about $189. But you're going to get a four-wheel drive 10 scale vehicle with this. And that wing doesn't come with it. You actually have to buy that optional with it. They state that somewhere on here. But this particular Rage, as I mentioned, is going to be $189, and they did do a couple of updates for it. I think it's kind of funny. They say the SUV racing truck has been designed for pure enjoyment of all kinds of terrain and stuff. I did have a Rage when it first came out several years ago, and it was cool, but I think it did need some updates, and I think Kyosho finally did those updates on it. You guys can see the chassis design and layout for it there. It is, of course, you can use a nickel metal battery, or you're going to use a 2S LiPo, which we're all going to be using 2S LiPos with it. It doesn't come with the LiPo or anything, so you'll need to supply your own battery with it, with that. But you guys can see some of the adjustments, and that's where that optional wing is going to go if you want to actually put that on there with it. The vehicle is, like I said, for $189, a good starting point with it. You guys can see the design of the chassis for it. I don't recall if I broke anything on it, if I can remember or not, but the shocks and everything, they're not adjustable. You do have to use those spacers for it, but there were no problems with that. I don't think I've ever had a problem with Kyosho shocks, no matter what kind of kit it is. And then it also comes with a slipper clutch. I believe the first generation, or the first version, did not come with a slipper clutch, and that's going to be that G14L motor there. I don't even know what turn that motor is. I have to look at some of the specifications on it. But they do have that slipper clutch and stuff in there. And then, of course, it's got pre-mounted hose, so you don't have to worry about messing up your gear ratio and stuff. So it says 76 tooth spare gear and a 22 tooth pinion gear, but it says 9 gear settings can be used for 21 through 29. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how this actually goes out the box. Tire compound's been good for these vehicles, and this is a 60 amp brush speed control. So I don't know if that's really 3S compatible, but it does come in two colors, this green color that you guys see here, and then also this red color. So for 189 bucks, I think you can't beat it. And I'm probably gonna get it just to kind of have something to play around with until the next big release comes out. And there's also optional parts and stuff for it. So there'll be a link, like I said, below in the description if you guys want to check this out. I don't think I'll be getting all that bling bling. You guys know I don't do that. But I'm going to actually probably go ahead and pull the trigger on this. And then we'll get into the second vehicle, which, like I said, I'm probably going to go ahead and get this. It's going to be pretty expensive. But Associated has announced the RC10 40th edition vehicle. This is going to run you at $369. So that is expensive. But I didn't get it when they did it years and years ago, and I'm thinking that I missed out. And it does come with this box where you can actually mount this vehicle on top of, so that's actually pretty cool. So this probably will be 100% shelf queen
before we got to the RC10.
But I just remember this vehicle from back in the day, and I've always wanted one. A friend of mine had one, and he kind of did conversions and stuff for it. And that was when RC cars really started to take off, and this was kind of the first of its design. And it did win the IFMAR World Championship. I believe it was 84 and 85 or something with it. So this does come with bushings on it. It doesn't come with ball bearings or anything. So if you plan on running, you will have to do some minor updates to it, but it'll still be kind of just good just to have this and sit this on my shelf, maybe in my office or something. And that's what I'm thinking about doing. I don't think I'll get this to run it, or it's $379, not $369. So there is the price there for this. Like I said, I'm probably gonna pull the trigger on this because I've always wanted one. It's for pre-order right now, so I guess you put your pre-order in, they're gonna ship out maybe next month in May or something. But I'm probably gonna pull the trigger on this. I don't know, there's a lot of description and stuff. There's a lot of history behind this vehicle, and in this link you'll see a lot of that. It does come with kind of this, it wasn't the stealth transmission, but they were kind of the first ones to actually have that type of transmission designed for it, and those particular type of shocks and stuff for it. And they kind of set the bar for what a lot of RC vehicles are kind of based on. You guys can see some of the stuff there. T6 aluminum chassis. Everybody remembers the gold pan chassis. People were cutting sides off the chassis to kind of lighten it up, drilling holes in the chassis. We were doing all kinds of stuff, and you guys see the way that servo mount up there. You used to use double-sided tape until someone went in and actually created that there. But it's kind of interesting if you think about this. And yes, this did in the day come with a mechanical speed controller, which of course it doesn't now. They're not going to do that nowadays. But you also get team associated laser etched in the chassis with it. But like I said, this is just bringing back childhood memories that I've always kind of wanted one. You know, this is the days of Joel Johnson, Jay Hasley. A lot of those guys back in the day having brush motors and just nickel metal batteries and NiCad batteries and just kind of running it out there. And there's a look at it, one of the first designs there for it. So this is probably, I don't know if this was just made completely out of wood, but there you guys can see, yes, 2 servos. Look at that, the way that's mounted on there. Now, like I said, it was double-sided tape down, so there were issues when you started getting this if you didn't get good tape for it, because your servo would start coming up and your car wouldn't turn and stuff. And yes, that is a NiCad battery that's in there. So it's a whole history behind this, and there's some of the big 3 right there. So Joel Johnson actually drove the Kyosho Ultimate. That's not Joel, that's I can't remember his name right now, but you got Cliff Led, Jay Hasley, and all those people. But it was just a fun time back in the days because they actually drove on a off-road track. It wasn't this indoor super smooth paved track that you see. It was outdoors, it was off-road, and it was dirt, and that's what kind of made it fun, just to go out there and see that and see these guys running. And these cars probably went about 25 maybe 30 miles per hour or so. But like I said, there's a whole history behind it. And then the Deadpool, if you guys haven't seen that movie, they actually used that vehicle in the Deadpool, which is pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen it, look up the Deadpool 1988 movie. They featured an RC10 in there, and it's actually a pretty good video with it. I think it's more or less towards the end. This guy used this car to, a RC car, to go around and go into people's cars and kind of blow them up, which is a very interesting, exciting movie. So, and there he is there with Clint Eastwood and stuff. But this brings back a lot of memories. That's probably why I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and bite the bullet on the $379 price. So anyway, guys, put your comments down below what you guys think. There's links in the descriptions for all this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching.